Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's another episode here with your host, ID Jester. Once again, we're commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day, which will officially start. It's like 6 o'clock, 6:30. So I think like the paratroopers was like 1 o'clock in the morning. So like within 5 hours, we're 80 years ago today. And in honor of the event and everything that unfolded, we are going to be playing Undaunted Normandy. Actually, this is the reinforcement box, which holds the Normandy and the North Africa games. So we're going to be replaying that scenario number 1. It is a very basic introductory scenario. You're just having scouts and infantry. There's not a whole bunch of stuff. But here's what I found out. I got this game, I'm thinking like October, November last year, and it's been sitting here not really doing anything. And I was like, it just looks so complicated. I don't know if I want to spend time doing it. I watched a couple videos today, and I picked it up in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, I guess I should have just sat down and watched some videos because I would have learned how to play the game very quickly and easily. It's a very easy to understand system. I guess I'm not going to say it's easy to play. It's just a very easy to understand. There is a lot of little, details to it, I guess we'll say. And of course, there is a huge, with the reinforcements. One of the things it comes with is a huge deck of cards that go through every single scenario with every single unit and gives you cards for that unit and like an AI script that will run. We're not going to be using these. Because my thought is, this is just my thought, there is no opportunity fire in this game. There is no kind of screwing your opponent or trying to find out anything. The only thing that happens is you're going to take your opening hand of 4 cards and you're going to choose one of them as your initiative card so you can play your other 3 cards. So the only thing we're missing out is, do you want to do a low number? Do you risk giving up a big number? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull 1 card for each side. Whoever has the higher initiative gets it and goes, and then I'm going to draw the cards. So this way there's no hidden information. There's no knowing ahead of time, well, he's got a machine gun or he can do this, he can do that. None of that. Again, this is a very simplistic scenario because all we're dealing with is riflemen and scouts and a few leaders that will bolster, which is basically draw cards in your deck. This is a deck building game. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get it, was like, I love my deck building games. I mean, it's like I am the card junkie guy, right? So why wouldn't I do that? So anyways, we're going to be playing through scenario 1, maybe depending on how things go, maybe using scenario 2. Don't forget, tomorrow is the actual anniversary, 80th anniversary of D-Day. So when you go to work tomorrow, whatever, tell somebody about it and say, hey, today is the anniversary of D-Day. And if they say, what is that? I don't know anything about it. Give them some information. Maybe it'll inspire them to find out some stuff and learn a little bit about the history of what happened before, they were born, open their eyes up a little bit, hopefully. Anyways, let's get into the table and see what we got, shall we? We shall. All right, here's our little map. Here's our counters. Here's our German units over here. There's the German units. Here are their cards. Here's the German deck. This scenario is very much set as a balance. Like the Germans have Scouts A, Scouts B, Rifle A, Rifle B, and a few of their platoon sergeants, Squad Leader A and Squad Leader B. And that's pretty much exactly the way the Americans are set up. A couple Fog of War cards, which are kind of your dead cards in the deck. So it's very symmetrical in the units and the cards and everything. I guess they just want you to try it out. So we are going to try it out. A lot of people suggest you just bypass Scenario 1 and 2 because they're just tutorial scenarios. But you know what? I figure I'm going to try it and see how well it goes. Again, there is a huge, if you get the reinforcements, a huge monster deck of cards that will outline the AI. So if you want to just play your side, let the AI take care of their side, that's fine. We're not doing that. We're gonna play both sides to the best of our ability. Shall we see what happens? All right, you can clearly see I am shuffling the decks. All right. Let's give you the information about this scenario, shall we? All right, this is called Assault to the Vire-et-Taute Canal. And I probably completely butchered that. And there's probably some French person laughing their ass off right now. Like, dude, don't you know how to speak French? No, I don't. Sorry. All right, so this is the 30th Infantry Division. This is around 15th of June, 1944. Obviously, U.S. and German. The 30th Infantry Division first action was on the morning of the 15th of June. While over half the division was still afloat or moving through the assembly area on Omaha Beach, an initial attack was made by an improved combat team. Difficult opposition was encountered as soon as the leading squads crept past the railway track leading east from Carentan. By mid-afternoon, the U.S. forces had worked their way through intermittent artillery fire and swung to the southwest to threaten German forces grouped around houses in the hamlet of Luray. We'll go with Luray. All right, the U.S. objective is very simple. Control 5 objective points. The German objective is just as simple. Control 5 objective points. So in this case, it's very isometrical again. If both sides are simultaneously pinned, no riflemen on the board, the game ends. The side with the most objectives points wins at that point, and it shows you how to set up your deck, and it reminds you, controlling objectives. You control an objection only if you have a control marker on the same tile as the objective marker, and its control side is up. Both sides can't control the same objective. If you take the control action on a tile your opponent controls, flip their control marker back to its scouted side. You can't take the control action if one of your opponent's combat counters is on that tile. So it gives you kind of like a reminder of the rules, the setup of the thing, blah, 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 and basically an overview of what you see right there. That's Scenario 1, Undaunted Normandy. All right. This is a game with dice. You won't be rolling, but maybe one, maybe if you're really lucky, 2 dice. But there's a few, maybe 3 or 4 dice, but in this scenario, everyone's just rolling 1 dice. 1 dice. It is a 10-sided dice. It actually goes from 1 up to 10. So the zeros are 10s. You need to beat or exceed the opponent's defense number. A 10 always hits. No matter if their defense is 2,000. Doesn't matter. You still hit on a 10. So you basically have a 10% chance of always hitting. And then based on how things go. All right, so again, shuffle, blah, blah, blah. There's our starting deck, 9 cards. Same thing with the Germans, shuffle. Boom, 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 and here we go. So we're going to simply just draw each a card, and if it's a good card, great. If it's a bad card, great. You know, it's just what the person ended up choosing. And in this case, it was a squad leader for the Americans, which is a 7, the rifleman, which is a 5. So the Americans have the initiative. So I'm going to put these over here out of the way. Like that, I guess, is the best way to do it. And then I'm just going to literally just draw the 3 cards that the Americans would still have in their hand, and we're going to play them. All right, so the American has a fog of war. He has a squad leader, A, and he has a rifleman, B. So squad leader can bolster, he can inspire, and you see the little stars there. The little stars represent that this is there is no unit on the map. It's just kind of an abstract thing. So fog of war, can't do anything with that. We're just going to discard it to get rid of it. Sometimes if you had a scout in your hand, you can get rid of them, but we don't have a scout. We have a squad leader who can inspire if we had someone from the same squad. He can't obviously inspire these guys, so what they're going to have to do is bolster to A, which means he gets to choose from A squad. There is riflemen and scouts, and he can bolstering add 2 cards, and he's going to take 2 of the rifleman cards and add them to the his discard pile. This guy's done, and now with the rifleman he can do either a move, an attack, or a control. Well, he can't really control anything because there is no victory points. These are victory points, by the way. There's 2 here. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 3 here. Again, the Germans only need to have 5, so there's 3. If they take this one, that's 5, they win. So you would think, oh, I'll just move my squad in there. But here's the problem. You can only move into an area that's been scouted. The only Americans have scouted this area and this area. So this is kind of a bad first hand for the Americans, to be honest. Kind of a bad first hand. So he can either move into this hex or he can shoot, attack one of these guys. And you know what? Moving back here, not the greatest idea. Let's see if we can do some damage. So we're going to attack. So it shows you here he's got an attack of 1, which means he gets 1 dice. The way you calculate your attack is the same for everything. It is you look at their defensive value on their token. Let's say I'm shooting at this guy, Rifleman A. He has a defense of 4, plus anything for his terrain, which is, in this case, 1. So he's a 5. And then you count the distance between the shooter and the target. And in this case, it is 1, 2. So he's a 7. I need to roll 7 or higher to be successful. So I'm going to take a shot at Rifleman 4. Again, 4 plus 1, 5, plus the distance, 6, 7. You do count the target hex, but you do not count the hex, the fire. There is no, like, blocked line of sight, units don't block, anything like that. It's very abstract. Alright, here we go. Need a 7 to hit. We did not hit a 7, so we miss, and that is the Americans' turns. The German, 1, 2, 3, he has 3 cards. He gets to go now. Oh, and you can see the little initiative token. We'll put that right here. Shows who has the initiative, because if it's tied, then whoever has initiative stays with the initiative. So the Germans have the platoon sergeant, a fog of war, and a scout. So the scout has very cool abilities. Very cool abilities. One of the abilities is to take this fog of war and get rid of it. Just discard it out of the game. Out of the game. Won't ever come back. So these are dead cards. So obviously getting rid of them is a good thing. The other thing the scout can do is scout terrain so that the Germans can move up. So in this case, I am going to play my scout to scout. Yeah, let's scout. And you can see scouts have a scout of 2. So they can move 2 space, and every space they go into, they scout. That's what these little stacks of binoculars are. So this is going to be Scout B. Oops, this should go over here. Okay, Scout B. And Scout B is right here. Oh, I got the wrong token, didn't I? Yes, I did. Holy cow, that says Scout C on it. That would send the world into... Scouts. B. Look at that. I found them. Scout C can go in here. There we go. So there's A, B, and C. So obviously we want to make sure we have the right ones. So he is going to... Oh, that's not... This is his hand right here. All right, so for his scout action, he is going to move here. Boom. And he's going to scout it. And then he's going to boom, move here. And he's going to scout that. So now our gentleman riflemen can move up, take over this objective now, and win the game. Boom, boom, done. Scenario over. Just like that. All right, so that's what he does. He puts these little scout markers on each terrain that he goes into during his turn. And then I have a fog of war, which I cannot do anything with. And then I have a platoon sergeant. These are the big boys. These are the best of the best. They can bolster 3, or they can command 2, which is command 2 is just draw 2 cards. Bolstering 3 means you can take 3 of any cards and add them to your discard pile. It's kind of build your deck how you want, which in this case isn't a lot. Obviously, we talked about it, but you can see that there is platoon sergeants, platoon guides, squad leader A, squad leader B, squad leader C, rifleman A, rifleman B, rifleman C, scout A, scout B, scout C, machine gunner A, machine gunner B, machine gunner C, mortars, snipers, and fog of war. So there's a lot of units. We're only using just the bare minimum in this scenario number 1. So further scenarios, you're going to be able to play with a lot more snipers and all kinds of stuff. Your terrain pieces are going to get a lot bigger. You're going to have a huge map. So yeah, lots of different scenarios, lots of different ways to do things. Look at this scenario. Number 7 has every single unit in the game. There is vehicles as well. Once you add in the... oh, look at that. I knocked that on top. That was not very good. Do not want that to happen, do we? No. Oops. Let me just double check to make sure. Do they have... That's scenario 2. Scenario 1. Yes. Okay. There is one in their hex. I should mention there is one in their hex there. And the Germans also have one in... That's controlled. That's controlled. No, that's not controlled. That's just scouted. This is controlled, though. Okay. All right. Got it. Missed that the first time by. All right. So, again, what he can do, bolster 3, he can add in guys into the deck if you want to scout more locations. Oh, by the way, whenever you scout a location, you take a fog of war card and add it to your discard pile. I just scouted 2 new locations. So I added 2 new fog of war cards into my thing, which might sound like a bad thing, and it is a bad thing, but it's the only way to get your guys to move. So you might as well do it. I guess what I could have done is use the scout and gone here and then here. But the thing is, I wanted to go here because over there is another objective over there. So our platoon sergeant, again, stars. There's no unit on the map. He's abstract. Bolster, we can just grab 3 units, add them to our deck. Or we can command 2 and just draw 2 more units. Whatever I have, I can use. In this case, I'm going to bolster for 3. And I think what I'm going to do is, bolstering is important because as you take damage, each of your units, when they take damage, you lose a card out of your deck. So if you bolster and get a lot of cards in the deck, when they take damage, you're not going to remove that unit. If that makes some of a sense. So I'm going to add Rifleman B. I'm going to add a Rifleman A. And then I'm going to add a Scout B. Because Scout B's over here. If I activate him, maybe I can get these areas scouted as well. Once the area is scouted, then the scouts are kind of done with their job. They can still fire. They do have an attack. Boom, attack of 1, just like a regular rifleman. Okay, so that's the end of the round. We go on to turn 2. Again, there is no turns. The scenario is not going to end after like 5 turns or 10 turns or anything like that. So, again, what I'm going to do is just simply draw 2 cards, and we will look at them. 6 and a 5, so the Americans keep the initiative. And we're just going to draw 1, 2, 3. And they have Fog of War, Platoon Sergeant, and a Rifleman. So, Fog of War isn't going to be able to do anything unless I choose Command 2, which will draw 2 cards, and maybe I can draw a Scout, which will help it get rid of that Fog of War. And I can actually look at my cards and see I've only got 1 Scout in my hand, or in my discard pile, which means that this is my other Scout. So if I choose to use my Platoon Sergeant to Command 2 and draw 2 cards, then I'm more than likely going to be able to get rid of that card. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend my Platoon Sergeant to Command 2, and I'm going to draw 1 card. Oh, look, it's a Scout. And then we're going to shuffle up, and we're going to draw a 2nd card. And that's with the Platoon Sergeant. So you've seen both actions. One is adding guys to your deck, and the other one is kind of just drawing more guys to make your turn even better. So we draw our 2nd card. Ooh, look at that. All right, now, again, with our Scout, we can scout an area, we can move out, we can attack, we can recon, and we can conceal, but the Scout is going to is it called recon? It's called recon, and the recon will, get rid of this, out of the game permanently. You do not add it back to this stack. You get rid of it completely because it's out of the game. Because once I go through all that deck. Yep, so the Scout is done. That's all he gets to do. They have these 2 guys, a Rifleman A and a Squad Leader B. Again, not a great combo here. Oh, you know what I can do? The Squad Leader B is what he's going to do. He's got a bolster again where he can draw guys and add them to your deck. The other thing he can do is Inspire, which basically means he gets one of his units, B, back out of the spend pile, back into your hand. And that's what I'm going to do. The Squad Leader is going to draw back in the Scout so that we can do something with the Scout. Because what I want to do is, that's right, Scout. Alright, so this is Scout B, which is right here. And Scout B is going to go in here. And when he does that, he's going to drop a little scouting thing in there. And then he... I could go right back in. I can come out and come back in. I can go over here. Yeah, oops. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go there and scout this area. Alright, so now my Rifleman can move out. So the important thing with the Scouts... What do Scouts do? This is what this scenario is going to show you, is why Scouts are so important in this game. Scouts are so important because unless they unless they have cleared the area, scouted it, given you guys a map and said, here's what's over there, nobody in the army is going to move up. Nobody's going to do anything until they get an idea of what's over there. So that's why scouts are important. Now, why is a rifleman important? Riflemen are the only ones that have the command on them. Right here, you can see the rifleman's command is to control. So if a rifleman is in an area with a victory points, they can take over that victory points by controlling it. They're the only ones in the game that control it. So rifleman A. I could shoot. It'd be a 5, 6, 7. He'd be a defensive 7. Again, 5 for the scout, 1 for the terrain, and 1 because he's one space. So it'd be 5, 6, 7. I could try and shoot him. Or I can just move in there and try and take over the objective. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move the rifleman in there. Rifleman. Oh, rifleman A, dummy. Rifleman A. Right there. It's going to move in there. And then once you're done with your turn and all you got done with all your cards, that's when you would discard them. So the Germans are going to draw 3 cards now. And let's see what they have. Squad Leader A, Fog of War, and a Scout A. So there you go. They got the same kind of nice ability here. So the Scout A is going to recon and get rid of this Fog of War out of the game completely. So he's been spent. But now Squad A leader is going to inspire him and bring him back into my hand so that I can do something else with him. And what am I going to do, you might ask? Or the other option is I can just bolster. Do I want to add some more guys? What does Scout A want to do? Scout A is back here. He can scout up that way. Yeah, let's do that. So, boom. Then I'm going to bring a scout, and I'm going to play my scout to scout. And my scout is simply going to go 1. He's going to go into an already scouted area, so I don't need to add a new Fog of War. But then the second thing I'm going to do is move over there, scout the area. So now, again, the Germans can head over there to get those victory points if they want. 5 victory points on either side wins the scenario. But because we scouted a new area, we add a Fog of War to our discard pile, and we're done. So that's the end of the turn. Boom, boom, boom. We're done. Now we simply, again, just draw 1 card for each side. 6 versus 7, the Germans take the initiative. The Germans take the initiative. The Americans will have to wait to get anything done. And, of course, as you can tell, we got some more Fog of Wars in the deck. We've got some new units in here, so our deck is a lot thicker than it was before. All right, 1, 2, 3. So the Germans have the initiative now, and that's important going forward. That's why there's this token. Let's see what they have. They have a Squad Leader B, a Scout B, and a Rifleman B. Uh-oh. This is going to be trouble. This is going to be trouble for the Americans. Wow. Okay, we're going to see. The Germans are going to put the pressure on the Americans right here, right now. They're going to play this Rifleman B to move. Rifleman B is right here. They're going to move him. Again, he can only move into scouted areas. So that's a scouted area. So he's done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Squad Leader B to inspire and get this guy back into my hand. And guess what? I want to move Squad B again, right up here. So literally we have a scout and a rifleman in there. All they have to do is get this objective. They will have 5 and win. And the last thing they're going to do is Scout B. Scout B is here. He's going to shoot this rifleman right there. He's going to attack. Attack! 1 dice. 1 dice. Rifleman is a 4. Plus 1 for the defense is 5. So I need a 5 or higher because there's no distance. So he's in the same hex. So 5 or higher will hit him. And that's a 10. Again, 10s always hit. So I'm going to draw the Americans 3 cards. So the first thing you do is you look to see if this unit has got any cards in the player's hand. And in this case, there is. So this card gets removed out of the game permanently. Okay. So that was a pretty good turn for the Germans. And they will discard their cards and be done. So the Americans only have 2 cards now to play because they got one of their units hurt. If that card wasn't in my hand, then you check the discard pile. And then if they're not in the discard pile, then you check the hand. And if there's nothing in your hand, discard pile, or your draw pile, then the token comes off and it's removed. I think you can bolster to get those units back in, but it's going to take a little bit of time to do that. So the Americans have a fog of war, which they can't do anything with. We better put this here just in case. They do have a squad leader to bolster 2A, and I think they're going to do that. They're going to draw a rifleman and another rifleman. And that's their turn. Alright, so that is the end of the turn. Literally, this is coming down to wow, this could be over a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be. So it depends on what we roll here. And Germans take the initiative. The Germans take the initiative, so they're going to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. The Americans will draw 3. 1. And I'm going to just pull their cards. I'm not going to look at them. But it's important to draw their cards because if they purchase some units, then they shouldn't be shuffled in this deck. So, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So 1, 2, 3. So this will be the Americans' hand. When it's their turn. This is the Germans. And what do they have? That's too bad. They have a Scout B. They have a Rifleman A. And they have a Fog of War. I completely messed up for the Germans. I apologize. I just realized, hang on a second. This is Scout A. I know, wait, did they use Scout B to shoot? Hopefully I didn't mess that up. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'm not sure. So they have Scout B and they have Rifleman A. Scout B is here. This is the one I think just shot, so that's why I think I messed up. I think I messed that up. I believe I messed that up because this is the guy we just shot. And that's a Scout A card. Although he did have a Scout B card, so I'm not sure. So we'll assume we didn't mess up. So again, Scout, let's see, what are we going to do here? Rifleman A is back there. Rifleman A is going to move up. And he's going to move, yeah, he's going to move up here. Let me think. If he shoots, yeah, Rifleman A, he's just going to keep that. This is a very important objective. So he's just going to shoot. He's going to shoot this guy. This guy's a 4, plus 1 is 5, 6, 7. So he's from here to here is 2 spaces. So 2, 3 is plus 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So he needs a 7 to hit. And he got a 7. So that means we'll check the hand first. We're looking for Rifleman A. And we do have a Rifleman A. Oh my gosh. Look at his hand. Rifleman A, Rifleman A, Rifleman A. Wow. All right. So this gets removed out of the game permanently. All right. So that was his guy shooting. Now it's his scout turn. And his scout is going to, again, get rid of that fog of war and be done. That's what the Germans did. The Americans now. All right, the Americans are going to take control. So this is now flipped over. They own this objective. And the Germans cannot take this objective as long as there's an American unit in that space. So they can't just take the objective back. They have to get rid of this guy. And then we're going to use Rifleman A to shoot. We're going to shoot this Rifleman. And that Rifleman is a 4, plus 1 is a 5. I need a 5 to hit. I rolled a 10. So again, we would check his hand, but he's already played his hand. So we check the discard pile. That is Rifleman B. Rifleman B. There's one in his discard pile. Again, that's out of the game permanently. So that's his attack, and he will be done. So, lots of shooting going on, lots of attacks going on, lots of killings going on. That's crazy. All right. So we're back to initiative, and we have the Americans. Americans are going to take it over. The Germans used a fog of war. So the Americans have it. They're going to draw their 3 cards. The Germans are going to draw their 3. Just so I know which ones are in their hand, in case there's any reshuffling going on. So we got a squad leader, B. We got a scout, B. And we got a fog of war. So again, the scout is going to discard the fog of war permanently. And then the squad leader B is going to inspire, get this guy back into my hand. And then I'm going to shoot with, where's Scout B? Scout B is here. Or I could scout. That's victory points over there. Right now they are more worried about this objective though, so they're just gonna attack. And the scout's gonna shoot this rifleman. He's a 4, 5, plus 1 distance, 6. I need a 6. And I rolled another 10. Oh my god, this dice is brutal. So once again, the first thing we're going to do is Rifleman B. Is there any in your hand? Yes, there is. Rifleman B. So in your hand, out of the game permanently. And now I've only got 2 cards to play with. And that's the end of the Americans' turn. The Germans now are only going to get a rifleman and a squad leader. Rifleman A is back there. Yep, we're going to move. Or we're going to activate the rifleman to move. Boom. And then I'm going to inspire him with the squad leader, get the card back, and I'm going to do the same thing and move him up again. So there you go. And that's their turn. So, end of round. We're going to draw again. And wow, the Germans use their big boy. But they do win initiative, though. Is that going to be important? I don't know. They're going to draw 1, 2. Three. And the Americans draw 1, 2, 3. Okay. Germans have the initiative. Fog of war, and a rifleman. Wow. That's about the worst you could have got. Well, one fortunate, they got 2 of these, which aren't going to do anything. But they do have Rifleman A, which can take control of this objective. Oops, this one here. So, Rifleman A. So now they have 3 plus 1. They have 4 points. 1 more point wins it, whether it's over here or over there. Unfortunately, they are done. The Americans. Squad Leader A, Platoon Sergeant, and Rifleman A. So, Platoon Sergeant is going to bolster 3. 1, 2, 3. I need 3 of these guys. These rifle squads here. And then what we're going to do is take Rifleman A right here. And I'm going to shoot this scout. Since he's in the same space, he's a 5 plus 1. He's a 6. Shooting the scout for a 6. That's an 8. That's a hit. So Scout B. Germans already went, so there wouldn't be anything there. But maybe there's a Scout B. Nope. So we're going to have to check his deck. Scout B and out of the game. And we shuffle up. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my squad leader to get this card back into my hand. And I'm going to shoot again. Same thing, Scout B. Oh, it's a 5. Not good enough. He's a 5 plus 1, 6. So that's it. Back to initiative, but the Americans don't have any. Americans don't have any. The Americans don't have any. What do you call it? Cards. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so they're gonna initiative. 6 versus 7, so the Germans keep initiative. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, the Germans have a squad leader B, a scout B, and a scout A. Not a scouting going on. Squad leader is going to bolster B. He's going to take a rifle squad and a rifle squad. And Scout B is going to shoot this rifleman. Shoot that rifleman. He is a 4-5. He's a 5. Hit. Rifleman A. So we're going to check his hand. Is there a rifle A in there? There is not. Is there one in his discard pile? No. Rifleman A. There's one right there. Out of the game. He's got a 2 left. He's only got 2 left. If I was to kill him 3 times, then he would be out of the game. Okay. So that was Scout B, and now we got Scout A, which is up there. Scout A is going to shoot the rifleman A. So again, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then we need a 7. 7 to hit the rifleman. Miss. That's it. Americans better get something done here. All right, the Americans are going to scout. And Scout A is going to go 1, Scout, 2, Scout. Because this is worth 3 victory points and it's sitting there. They already have 2. If they get a rifleman over there, they could win the game. And the Germans are like, oh, nuts. Rifleman B is here. He's going to move up. And then the squad leader B is going to bring Rifleman B back to his hand, and then he's going to move up again. And literally, if the Americans get another Rifleman B, it's game over. They won. Oh my God, what a change of events. The Germans are about ready to win with this, and now the Americans are in position. Wow. All right. Initiative, and this could be a crucial one. The Germans used their platoon sergeant once again for initiative. 1, 2. And they would not be able to shuffle that in the deck this time. Oh, that's crazy. 1, 2, 3. And the Americans. Germans first. Oh boy, what are we going to do? We got 2 Rifleman A's and a fog of war. Rifleman A is over there. So the only thing I can do is shoot, and hopefully we kill enough riflemen that they can't get that objective. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I need a 7 to hit. Miss. Rifleman A doing the same thing. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to move him in the second time. See if I can. Maybe I should have moved him twice. Maybe that would have been smarter. Would have been smarter. Because they already own this objective, which means if they would have moved, then the Americans couldn't have taken that objective. But he shot once. Dumb. I guess. Oops. The Germans gave the Americans an opportunity. And yes, they got, oh no, they got Rifleman A there. Or Rifleman B. There it is. That would have been the game. It's game over. Americans win. Because they can flip their token over and take control of this objective. They have 2 plus 3. They have 5 points. And the Americans somehow, someway, win this objective. Man, the Germans feel really dumb now. They're like, I guess we shouldn't have done that. Golly geez. But the Americans pull out a victory. Oh my God. I was thinking like their opportunity was to just shoot this guy a couple times so he couldn't get it. And then I realized, oh, if I just move twice, I could be in there. So, I mean, you know, it was kind of unfortunate. The Germans didn't think smartly, and they lost the objective. That was that was pretty interesting, though. Very interesting. What do you guys think of Undaunted Normandy? Of course, this is, again, very intro scenario. You look at Scenario 1. Scenario 2 is probably pretty easy as well. You're just using some riflemen, some scouts, some fog of war, platoon sergeants, and in this case, the Germans win if they force the U.S. to have no riflemen on the board, and the U.S. win if they control 1 objective. Just 1. That's all you need to do is get 1 objective. Looks like about the same setup in units there. Platoon Sergeant, Squad A, Squad B, Rifleman A, Rifleman B, Squad A, Squad B, and Fog of War. Yeah, it looks very like just like what we just did. The only difference being obviously the map is a little bit different and the objectives are a little bit different. Oh, and the Germans only have A. I see. The Germans have Squad A, Rifleman A, Scout A, and Machine Gunner. Reminder, the Machine Gunner. This scenario introduces players to the Machine Gunner unit, a powerful addition to any platoon. This unit has more firepower than Riflemen and Scouts, so it's much better positioned to inflict enemy casualties. It is also the only unit with access to a suppression action, which trades away inflicting damage with debilitating enemy units, basically suppressing them. Enemy units out of position or close to capture vital objectives are good targets for suppression. Yeah, your enemy moves in there like this guy, and you have a machine gunner. That's exactly what I was thinking too. If this rifleman would have been a machine gunner, you machine gun, and then they spend them, and they're broken, whatever you want to call it, and then the next time you activate, all they do is flip over, so they can't capture that objective. So what do you guys think? Good game. I've ordered. I've got Normandy. I've got North Africa and the reinforcements. Again, when you add the reinforcements, it adds a ton of solo stuff. But it also adds a whole new reinforcement scenario book. There is like a whole boatload, bunch of scenarios. Here's ones for North Africa. Look at these ones. Holy cow, they're big ones with all kinds of stuff going on. And look at that. And the same thing with, here's a solo one for Normandy. And a Normandy scenario. Here's a solo setup. Here's a whole bunch. Yeah, different scenarios and different things. So that's kind of cool, I thought. All right. So I had some cool stuff. I also got, I just ordered the Stalingrad and the Battle for Britain. So, yeah, we're going all in on Undaunted. I guess we're going in all in on Undaunted. So hopefully we like it. Here's the rule booklets for the Normandy. You know, kind of goes over some information and how to play. But I mean, it looks a lot more complex than I thought it was. But man, you can pick this game up really easy. There's not really that much to it, to be honest. Not that much to it. I think, obviously, with this first and second scenario, I hear they're very, very kind of basic. So the question is, do we want to play another scenario? 6, 5, 6, 9, 1, 7, 1, 1, 6. So if we play scenario 2, where's my little rule booklet? Scenario number 2, again, is going to be kind of generic. We have this guy. We have Squad Leader A. We have Rifleman A. Okay. Scout. Scout B. Scout A. And then, yeah, you can see there's a bunch of cards. These are the German cards that we haven't even looked at. There's Panthers, Mortars, Panzer IVs, Machine Gunners, which we're going to be adding in this scenario, and he's going to be using Machine Gunner A. And there's only 2 of them. Nope, there should be 3 actually. Wait. Machine Gunner A. Oh, there he is. Machine Gunner A. Okay. And that is it. Alright, so he has Platoon Sergeant, he has Squad Leader A, he has a Rifleman A, he has 1 Scout, he has 1 Machine Gunner. The rest of these are nothing. And then for his deck, he starts with 3 Fog of Wars in it. Alright, that's German setup. Well, we'll play another one. Why not? That was kind of a quickie. Yep, okay. Scouts. Okay, so this is going to be first, you can see a few more tiles over here. 15. All right, so let's pull this down and out of the way. So 15B is there. 4 and 10. I think 4 is here. 4A is here. 10. 10 goes there. It is 10B. Okay. Oh, jeez. Over there. 7A. Okay. Eight and one. 8 and 1. 8. And 1. 11 and 18. We got 11. We need 18 right here. Which is going to be right there. 736. 736. Okay. We got 3B and 6B. Okay. So we have 1 victory point. Oops. Number 5 comes down here. 5B. Okay. All right. 1 victory point here. 1 victory point here. Okay. Then the scouts A, Rifleman A, and we got to get his little machine gunner unit out. Machine gunner A. Gunners B. Gunners C. God. Gunners A. There we go. So we'll play through another quickie here for you guys. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. If you enjoy a little bit of Normandy, Undaunted, if you want to see some more, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We're going to do a double scenario for you guys. Because we love you and there's nothing you can do. Sorry, there's just nothing you can do. Alright. So all the Americans have to do is take over one of these 3 locations. Boom, they win. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why am I missing one here? 15, 10, 2, 12, and 5. Oh my God, I am so bad. Then that's 4. This actually just stays there. Okay, we missed a couple. 12B is going to fit right in there. 11B. Oh, it's so it goes 4, then 16. 4, then 16, then there we go. That looks a little better, right? And then we have just the 3 on the end, like that. That looks like a cool looking map, actually. Wish there was more of those terrain pieces, but yeah. Alright, Americana. I think the Americans just have what they had before, so we don't have to do anything fancy. This one would be A, B, A, B, A. So that works, right? All right, so we got to find out fog of war. A. Yeah, they had 3 Rifleman A that were in their trash. They have, where's their squad leader B? Oh, right here, squad leader B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. All right. So they have platoon sergeant, squad leader A, squad leader B. They have 2 in squad A. 1, 2. They have 2 from squad B. 1, 2. They have 1 and 1. And then they have 2 fog of wars. So they should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yay, we did it right for a change. All right. So the Germans are going to come here. Rifleman A, Scout A. Rifleman A, Scout A are up there. The B boys are over there. All right, and of course, Thought maybe those tokens were going to be in here, but they're not. Alright, so there's a... They don't have to worry about like holding objectives or anything. They can just charge forward. I was looking for the tokens. B's are going to be coming in there. And the A's. Where's their little... Where's their one that they used during the regular game? It would be on the back of that one. Where did it go? Oh, right here. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, they're A's and B's. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Lovely. We do need that. We're going to need a couple scouted areas. So the Germans have this area scouted, obviously where they're at. 1, 1, 1. The Americans have scouted this area. They've scouted this area. They've scouted this area. They scouted that area. So terrain-wise, there's a nice one there and a nice one there, nice one there and a nice one there, but then there's big fat zeros there. Maybe we should just let them come into the fire. All right. That is gone from Scenario 1 to Scenario 2. We've moved on. We've already gone. This is the assault to the Vire-et-Taute Canal, Part 2. As the 30th Infantry Division moved south to the railway and encountered German machine gun nest in the tiny settlement of Leandre. After a 40-minute battle, they cleared the area. By the end of the morning, U.S. forces had inched forward another quarter mile to the outskirts of Montmartin-en-Gonesse, a large hamlet which boasted a church steeple projecting above the old mud-covered farm buildings. After another hour of hard fighting, they were in possession of the hamlets. What is going on, Stuka Joe? Good to see you, ID Jester. We'll stick around. I've read the rules, but haven't gotten the hang of Undaunted. It's very easy. It is so easy. I was very intimidated going in, but man, oh man, this game, there's just not a lot to it. We played in Scenario 1. We're already moving on to Scenario 2. It's not super hard at all. You're basically... I'll show you as we go. You'll see as we go. I'm just shuffling up the decks. Now, I should mention, this is set up for 2 players. There is a huge, massive, if you get the reinforcements, if you get the reinforcement box, where's my box? If you get the reinforcement box, reinforcements, this comes with a solo mode, so you can play everything solo mode. You can play every single scenario, and they come with these cards with have, and I'm gonna show you this. There is a card for every single scenario, for every single unit. So every single scenario and every single unit gets its own card. So you can see here, mortar for the Americans on turns scenario 5 to 12, use this card. If you're using a sniper, scenario 4 to 9, 11 and 12, use this card. Scout, scenario 11 for the Germans, that's what the card you use. If you're playing scenario number 9, you use this card. So it is a massive, and it covers North Africa, and it covers Normandy as well. So there is the reinforcement box comes with a huge solo mode. Huge solo mode that allows you to play every single scenario solitaire. But I'm not playing it with that. I'm just playing it two-handed solo. So, yeah, I'm just playing to my best ability for both sides. Because there is no opportunity fire in this game. You basically, one player just plays their cards, then the other player plays their turn. The only thing you miss out on, and this is part of the game, is in a normal game, you're going to draw 4 cards. And you're going to look at them, and you're going to figure out which card you want to give up for initiative. So maybe I want to use this one for my initiative card. And then these 3 cards will be the cards I play for the round. So, so you miss out on that. There's a little cat and mouse about trying to think about how important is going to be initiative, how big a unit card do you want to use to try and get the initiative. Is your opponent going to try a very hard card? Is he not going to try a very hard card? So there is a lot of cat and mouse in the initiative. But once the initiative is over, the round plays itself out. So you don't need, in my opinion, don't really need much of a solo mode. I mean, the solo mode is like I said, very involved and very nice, but it's just like, the solo mode is just taking the best actions that they would take, which I'm going to be doing anyway, so why do I need a solo mode, I guess. D. Scott Howard, what is going on, my friend? Good to see you. So we've shuffled up. We're on to scenario 2. Again, because I'm not going to be looking at both hands and trying to figure out which card to get rid of. All I'm doing for initiative is I'm shuffling the deck, and whenever they draw, they draw. That's all there is to it. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. All right, I've shuffled the decks. My hands are sore from shuffling so much. So I just draw 2 cards. Boom, there it is. The Americans got rid of a fog of war. The Germans got rid of a rifleman. The Germans have taken initiative. Those cards go away, and then I simply just draw 3 cards for the Germans. This is the cards that they would have had left in their hand. And then I draw 3 cards for the Americans. And these would be the 3 cards they would have left in their hands. So the Germans have a fog of war, and a machine gunner. So, yeah, the machine gunner is, fog of wars can't do anything, so we're just going to simply do nothing with them. The machine gunner is going to shoot. He can move, but you can only move into territory that you have scouted. You have to have a scouting token on the space to move into there. The only space they have scouted is this one. So they cannot move here, they cannot move here, they can't move anywhere. So the only thing he can do is either suppress or attack. He's going to attack. And he gets 2 dice. You see, it says 2. So he gets 2 dice. 2 dice, and now all I have to do is figure out how much it is. He's going to shoot this guy right here, this rifleman, who is a 4, but he gets 3 cover because of the terrain, so that's 7, and then distance, 8, 9, 10. So I need 10s. I need zeros. I need a 10 to hit. So I'm rolling 2 dice, and I just need a 10, which is not great. You always hit on a 10. Even if they got like 15 defense, you still hit on a 10. So it's a long range shot, but nothing else I can do, so I might as well take a shot. And I got a 0! Are you kidding me? So I shot Rifleman B. So he's taking damage. So what you do is you look at your hand of cards and see if you have Rifleman B in your hand. If you do, that card goes out of the game. I look at the American's hand. They do not have any Rifleman B cards. So the next thing we do is look in their discard pile. Nope, nothing there. So then we look in their draw pile. And we have Rifleman B right there. So this card is out of the game. Boom, gone. Never going to be able to use it again. Now, if, let's say, for example, I look through his hand, I look through this, and I look through all of his cards, and I don't find it, then this token gets removed back out. And that's how the Germans win the scenario. If the Americans don't have any riflemen on the board, they lose the scenario. So the Germans just want to just pick off the riflemen. So Rifleman B, there we are. Rifleman B, so it's out of the game. And then, of course, we shuffle his draw pile back up. Boom. All right. So that was the Germans' turn. Shot his machine gun. Fog of War, which doesn't do anything. Fog of War, which doesn't do anything but jam up your deck. And they're done. Now the Americans go. They're going to take their 3 cards and they're going to get to go. And they can do them in any order. What they're going to do is, what are they going to do? That is a great, great decision. Yep, I think what they're going to do, Yep. All right, so the scout is going to scout. Again, you can't go into any area if it hasn't been scouted, if you don't have your little scout tokens on there. So the American's going to use Scout B, which is right here, Scout B. And he's going to scout, and he can scout 2 spots. See that? Scout 2. He can scout 2 locations. So Scout B is going to go here, and he's going to scout. And we put a little scout token on there. And then he's going to move over here, and once again, he's going to put a little scout token on there. That means all the riflemen can now move into those areas because they've been scouted now. So good job for the scout. Fog of War doesn't do anything. The Rifleman A. Rifleman A is going to move up. Oh, here's the thing. Rifleman A is going to move up here. These two are adjacent. Even though they don't look much adjacent, they are adjacent. And that has much better terrain bonus than this one. So might as well use the terrain to our advantages. So that's the Americans' turn. They discard, they're done. So the end of the round happens. Everyone's played their cards, and we just move on. We do the same thing. You would normally, again, you would draw 4 cards. You would find the one, and you would put it out for initiative. And then both players reveal them at the same time. But because we're not doing that, we're just going to simply take 2 cards. Say, boom, these were the cards that were chosen. The Americans chose a 6. The Germans chose a 5. The Americans get the initiative. And that's important because if there's a tie, whoever has the initiative keeps the initiative. So the scout for the Americans wins it over the rifleman. So then the Americans draw their 3 cards. And then the Germans draw their 3 cards. And we go. Again, we go. So we got a squad leader B. We got a platoon sergeant. And we have a squad leader A. This is really bad. They have their 3 big boys in there. 779. Squad leader would do... okay, so what... all right, so here's what they're going to do. Here's what they're going to do. This is going to be crazy what they're going to do. Follow along with me. So a leader can either bolster which means draw cards into your deck, or they can inspire, but they can only inspire people on their team. Squad Leader A, it would have to be a unit from A. We don't have any A's. So Squad Leader A is going to bolster 2 from the A's. 2 from the A's. So he's going to take Rifleman A and Rifleman A, and he's going to put them in the discard pile. Squad Leader B is going to do the exact same thing, but he's going to do it with the B's. Rifleman B, Rifleman B. And then the platoon sergeant can either bolster or command. Bolster is basically adding cards again. Command is just drawing 2 more cards if I wanted to do 2 more cards. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolster again another 3. And in this case, I'm going to take a Scout A, a Scout B, and Rifleman B. And that's it. So basically all the Americans did was add 3, 4, 5, 7 cards to their deck. 7 more cards to their deck. All right, the Germans are like, well, that's stupid. Scout, Fog of War, and a Squad Leader A. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The Scout can scout an area, move it up, or the Scout can do a recon, and a recon gets rid of a Fog of War in your hand, and it gets removed from the game, completely removed. So the Scout is going to remove that. That's what he does. That's all his turn is for this time. But Squad Leader A is going to now inspire someone from Squad A, which means basically you get that card back into your hand, and we're going to put Scout A back into our hand. That seems like a pretty good thing. So what he's going to do now is he is going to scout. He's going to scout here. He can move 1 more space. Obviously, the Germans don't need to scout that much. I could move him back into this area, but the important thing is, I'm just gonna leave him there. Just gonna leave him there. All right. So that is my 3 actions, and we're done. All right, the Americans had the initiative. So now we're drawing cards for boom. And oh, the Germans used their 9 again. That's to bolster to get guys into their thing. So they're going to win the initiative. The Americans are going to have to shuffle as well. This is going crazy right now. Richard Kerr, what is going on, my friend? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. We do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments section down below how much you enjoy Undaunted Normandy. 1, 2, 3. All right. And so the German has to also shuffle his deck. And he would have really liked to add some more machine gun cards to his, would have liked to bolster. But he used his card for initiative because randomly that's what happens. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so the Americans, the Germans win initiative. Let's see what they decide to do. Oh, you know, hang on a second. There should be a machine gun. Did we not see? Oh, there's a machine gun. Somehow we missed a machine gun. Okay. All right. All right, so for his turn, I got Squad Leader A and Rifle A. So, Squad Leader A, Rifleman A is going to, we want to try and shoot this guy. Again, if we can prevent the scouts from coming in and scouting these areas, the riflemen can't come into these areas. So we have to kill their scouts. If we kill their scouts, the riflemen can't make it into there, and we win the scenario. Enjoying this very much, says Stuka Joe. Thanks very much for the detailed explanation. No problem, buddy. So, that's what scouts do. Scouts scout the area and let the riflemen move up, and the riflemen are the only unit in the game that can capture objectives. So the riflemen are very important to capture the objectives. The scouts are very important to open the terrain up so that the Americans can. Oh, by the way, we scouted this location, so I should have added a fog of war to the Americans' deck. Forgot that. My bad. All right, so rifleman's going to shoot this scout right there. So rifleman is, he is at 5, plus 2, 7, and then distance 1, 2, 9. So I'm going to need a 9. I only get 1 dice. So rifleman's going to take a shot. I need a 9 or a 10. I rolled a 7. No cigar. Then the squad leader is going to inspire someone from squad A. Well, guess what? I'm going to inspire the rifleman. And the rifleman is then going to move. And he's going to move over here. The reason he can move over there is because it's been scouted by the scout. So the rifleman can move in there because it's got a scout token on it. All right. And then a fog of war, which doesn't do anything. Then, once you're done playing all your cards, you discard them, you're done. The American gets to go. The American has rifleman, scout, rifleman. Rifleman, scout, rifleman. Rifle, 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 rifle. So, rifleman B, I'm going to move. Boom. Oh, right there. Rifleman A, I'm going to move. Boom. Scout A, which is way back there, he is going to move. He's actually going to scout. And he's going to scout 1, 2. This one is already scouted, so he doesn't have to do anything. But when he comes into this area, he will scout it. And he'll add a fog of war card to his side's deck. And then he will be done. That's it. Very simple. Again, this is not a very complex game. I thought it was a much more complex. Now, again, this is Scenario 1 and Scenario 2 are very generic, very easy. They're only very, not giving you many rules. We're not doing any fancy-dancy things. Again, if you're looking at the rule booklet here, right? All these things show you available units, but you can see we're only using a couple of them. A couple here, a couple here, a couple there. We're not using any of these units. We're not using this unit, that unit. The Germans, same thing. Look at, they're only using a couple units, so you're not doing a lot of fancy-dancy things in the first couple scenarios. And again, I hate to keep harping on this, but Undaunted Normandy, Undaunted Reinforcements adds a solo mode. What did I do with those cards? Oh, I put them in the box, right? But adds a solo mode, so if you want to just play one side, have the AI run the other side, you can do that just fine. There's all kinds of detailed information. There's a whole bunch of new scenarios as well. It adds vehicles for the Normandy. Undaunted Normandy didn't originally release with any vehicles. Then in the next game that came out, Undaunted North Africa, they did release some vehicles. So when Undaunted Reinforcements came out, they added those vehicle scenarios to Normandy. So if you want to play with tanks, there is all kinds of, where are my counters? Here are my counters. Here you can see. There is some big tokens in here which represent all the big units. You have Stuart tanks, you have Panzers, you have, what else is in here? There's a Sherman, there's a Panther tank. So there's a lot of extra stuff once you get the reinforcements to add to your Normandy game. Just giving you some information. That's all. All right, so back on again. It's not like an 8-turn scenario or whatever. One side. They each have objectives. Again, the American objective is to control one objective point. So that means here, or here. Just own one of those objective hexes. So what do the Americans have to do, right? So what do they have to do? They have to get their scouts to scout up to there, and then they have to get their units, the rifle squads, up there. Once the rifle squad then makes it through there and up there, then the rifle squad can capture the objective. So that's what you have to do as the Americans here. I have reinvigorated your interest in the system. I will take a closer look at it. I have reinforcements but haven't opened it yet. Thanks again. You're no problem, man. You have any questions, let me know. Hopefully we're just watching this playthrough. Again, there's a lot of solo system games online. If you go and just type in Google and type in Undaunted Normandy solo playthrough, there's like maybe 20 people that have done solo playthroughs using the solo system and going through it. I know Gaming Rules has done it, and he does a really good job of going through it step by step by step, showing each of the cards, showing you how to do things in order. But we're playing we're not playing with the solo system. We're playing with my solo ingenuity system. All right, so here we go. Boom. So the Americans win initiative. So the Americans win initiative. 1, 2, 3. And the Germans, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the Americans, they got a rifleman, and a scout. Boy, they had a really good hand. So again, Scout B. They have Rifleman A and Rifleman B. So the question is, do the riflemen start shooting these guys? Do they just kind of move up and get nice and close? Yeah, you know what? We're going to do that. Rifleman B is going to move up here. Rifleman A is going to do something crazy, and maybe he's going to come over here and really make the Germans like, well, oh shit, can't put everything over there. Put the pressure on him. And then he's got a Scout B. So that's this guy. He's going to come up, scout this location. Once again, he puts a scout token on it. He adds a Fog of War to the deck. And then he's got one more move. And he could just move over into here and maybe try to shoot those gunners. Or he can move back to the 2. Make it a little bit harder for them to hit him. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to come in there, scout the area, and then leave. All right, so that's the Americans' turn. Now, he's got a chain of path. All he has to do is get a rifle squad in there and capture it, and it's going to be game over. Americans win. Richard says, this is a really fun game. The latest scenarios are more fun, also tougher. Okay, yeah, I think... the reinforcement scenario book, you will notice, is a lot more stuff going on than what you see in just this. Like, there's a lot more going on. There are a lot more bigger maps. There's a lot more rules. There's a lot more units going on. You can see this one's a little bit bigger. Look at that one. That one's pretty. That's 4, 4, 4, 4, and 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 5 columns wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 columns deep. So that's like about a 20 square area. Here's one for Normandy. That's quite a bit bigger. 3, 4, 4, 4, 3. Here's some scenarios. You can see look how many guys you have in this scenario. A lot more guys. And again, this takes into consideration all of the units. Now you can see here. Here's your main starting forces. Here's your reinforcement units, which includes the Sherman Circle, and Sherman Triangle, and the Stuart. And then for the Germans, you have the Tank Platoon Commander, you have the Panzer IVs, you have the Panther tanks. And it also has set up for 2 players, and if you're playing with 4 people. So crazy stuff. I haven't even really looked at this stuff because there's so much in the core box. But there's just a lot more in this one. Yeah, nice big scenarios, lots going on. Lots more units, lots more things going on. Look at that. Almost every unit in the game is in this scenario right there. There's a Normandy scenario 102. So, and here's a solo scenario here. And here's a 2-player. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what the reinforcements. If you can get the reinforcements expansion, I would highly recommend. If you want to learn this game and play it, get the reinforcements because it adds a lot of stuff to both Normandy and North Africa. So, all right, so over to the German player. Let's see. Oh, they finally got their machine gunner, the scout, and the rifleman. All righty, so they got all their A units. Well, they're all A, that's right. So they have to be careful here. They have to be careful. Like, literally, they have a rifleman that could just come in here and get it over. But they can also get this scout over here. That would be bad as well. So, what they're going to do is the rifleman, which is here, is going to shoot the rifleman here. So again, combat in this game is very abstract, very simple. Simply take their defensive number 4, add the terrain, which is 2, which is 6, and then the distance is 1, so that's 7. So I need to roll a 7 or higher. 7 or higher. And I rolled a 1, so I miss. So that's rifleman. Trying to shoot that rifleman. Now I got a scout. My scout is going to shoot again. Attack of 1 die. And he's going to shoot the rifleman again. 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need a 7. 7 or higher. I rolled a 6. Missed again. Last but not least, I have my machine gunner. He has an attack with 2. So he rolls. Guess how many dice? Just think about it for just a second. How many dice do you think he would use if he has an attack 2? That's right, my friends. You're right. It was a 2 dice. So who is he going to shoot at now is the question. Do I want to try and... I'm going to try and kill this scout. I don't want this scout coming up and scouting this territory. That would be bad. So... So the scout is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need a 9 or higher with 2 dice. Either dice rolls 9 or higher. Come on. I need a 9 or higher. I rolled a 6 and a 3. You don't get to add them together. So that was 3 misses by the Germans. That is not good. That is not good. So they are done. And we are going to start another round. Rounds go really fast, especially if you're just, playing and doing it. It goes really quick. This is Scenario 2 out of the rule book. We already played through Scenario 1. This is Scenario 2. We've only been going for about an hour and a half. So you can play a scenario in maybe half hour, 45 minutes. We did take about 15 minutes to set it up and change out everything. It didn't take very long at all. All right. Germans are done. Americans are done. We draw. They rolled a 5 and a 5, so it's a tie. So on a tie, whoever has the initiative keeps the initiative. So the Americans are going to keep the initiative. And that's bad because this guy's going to get to move up if he's got the right card. We're looking for Scout A. Do we have a Scout A? We don't have a Scout A. We have a Scout B and a Rifleman B. Wow. The Rifleman B is actually going to move into here, which is very risky. The rules for capturing an objective, you can't capture an objective if your opponent has anyone there, if they already own the objective. So the Germans have units here, but they have not captured this objective yet. So if by chance they don't do it on this turn and the Americans have another Rifleman B, they could just win the scenario. They could just outright just capture that objective. So they're gonna go for it. They're gonna move up Rifleman B. They got a Fog of War, and then they got a Scout B, and the Scout B is gonna shoot the Rifleman. Rifleman's a 4, +1 is 5, distance of 1 is 1, so that's 6. So this Scout needs a 6 to shoot this Rifleman. He rolled a 9. That's a hit. So here's the way you handle hits. And this is the one kind of thing is you always check your hand first. Do I have a Rifleman A card in my hand? I do not. I do not have a Rifleman A card. Next thing you do is you check your discard pile. There's a Rifleman A. So we're going to take it out of my discard pile. If there wasn't this card in the discard pile, then you would check the draw deck. If you check your hand, your discard pile, and your draw deck, and you don't find anything, then this token gets removed from the board. And so you have to then play cards to bring them back in. Use the locations markers to bring them back in. Fortunately for him, he had a Rifle A right here. And this gets removed out of the game permanently, out of the game. So if you do enough damage to a squad, it's going to be gone. It just won't be able to recuperate. So that was the Americans' turn. They used the Rifleman to move up. Fog of War just does nothing, and then they scouted, then shot the Rifleman. So the Germans now. All right. What can we do here? All right. The Germans are going to have a very dead turn. They're going to scout. And again, the scout, if you have a Fog of War card, you can... Oh, I'm sorry. Doesn't go back in the draw pile. It goes out of the game permanently. So he's going to do that. And then he's going to bolster to Squad A. So we can add 2 cards. And guess which cards they're going to be. Machine gun, yes. So just go in the discard pile. And the Germans are done. So that round's over. We draw another card for initiative. And the Germans win 5-1. And the Germans have these 3 cards. The Americans have these 3 cards. And the Germans get to go first. A fog of war, machine gun, and a platoon sergeant. Nice. So what are they going to do? What they're going to do is they're going to use the platoon sergeant first, so the platoon sergeant can bolster to add cards to your draw pile, or your draw pile, or it can do command do, which is draw 2 cards into your hand. So I'm going to play this to draw 2 cards. But I don't have any cards, so I have to shuffle. And you notice I just put in 2 machine gun cards. So I'm hoping that I draw at least one of these, because this machine gun is going to make the Americans wish that they had better defense, because it is going to be rock and roll time for the Germans here. So, draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Alright. Scout is going to do what? He's going to remove the Fog of War card. So the Germans' deck is super thin, and all it is a bunch of riflemen and machine guns right now. Rifleman A. Rifleman. Here he is right there. He's going to shoot the rifleman that's in his space right here. Shooting. No. He is going to capture the objective. Boom. Just like that. Now, the Americans, they're not screwed, but they're not happy because they can't capture this as long as there's Germans in there. They have to kill the Germans off, and then they can capture that objective. So getting the objective first is kind of crucial in this game. And last but not least, we do get to fire the machine gun now. And the machine gun is going to hit this scout right there. Again, he's a 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, so that's a 9. I need a 9 or 10. Come on, we need to shoot this sucker. 1 and a 2, that's not good shooting. So that is it for the Germans. Americans, what are you going to do? Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to move his scout up. Scout is going to go 1 and scout. And that's going to add a Fog of War. And then he's going to move 2 and scout. And that's going to add a Fog of War. But now they have somewhere. And the Germans are okay. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my rifleman A. My rifleman is going to move here. And then I'm going to squad A, I'm going to inspire a unit from A, and that is going to be get my rifleman and bring it back up into my hand, which means I can activate him again, and I'm going to move my rifleman once again. Now the Americans are 1 step away from winning again, and the Germans have nothing over there to help them. Wow, this is going to be very, very... They do have a huge, thick deck. Oh, they also have a Fog of War. That shouldn't be in their deck. I think I grabbed one of theirs when I should have grabbed one of the Americans. Oops. Oopsie. But you can see the Americans' deck is super huge and thick. It's got a lot of Fog of Wars in here. But the Americans are like literally on the doorstep of victory if they could just get the right card to show up. They could just get the right card to show up. It is GG, game over. And the Americans can go 2-0 in this starting of Undaunted Normandy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. That is their hand. This is their initiative card. The Germans, initiative card, they need a hand of 3. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So it's going to come down to initiative. The Americans used a 9 to win it. The Germans tried to get it with 7, but they couldn't steal the initiative. So the Americans win it. Now, if they have a Scout A, it's game over. It's just game over if they got a Scout A. Or, I'm sorry, a Rifleman A. If they have a Rifleman A, boom, they will use the control action. The control action takes control of an objective, and guess what? If the Americans have control of one objective point, they win the scenario, and the Americans are 2-0 as they have taken over. What was the location of this? Monte Martin El Ganas, a larger hamlet. They have taken over the larger hamlet that the Germans were using as a base of operation. The Americans are 2-0 in Normandy, Undaunted Normandy. What do you guys think of that? Very quick and easy at the end of the game. Americans won it very nicely done. I didn't know if there was any chance, to be honest, but they did pretty good. They did pretty good. Rifleman A. All right. So you can see in each of the riflemen has got 5 cards in it. Each of these the scouts had 3 in it. So you can kind of gauge like how much damage each one of these squads can take before they're knocked out. Now I will say the Germans used their platoon sergeant to bolster, which is getting more guys in their deck. It's what they needed. But they used him twice for initiative, so he didn't get to add a lot of cards to his deck. And I think that's why the Germans had a rough time with this one. I think that's why they just didn't add enough cards to the deck. They just didn't get enough cards. And they just got their machine gun going just at the end there, but it was a little too late. You can't wait till the last minute. And there you go. That is 2 scenarios. Again, probably you could set up another one and play it. They're not very... I'm thinking probably 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how big the scenario is. Once you got it set up, you're just playing your initiative card, find out who wins initiative, and then you're just playing your 3 cards. So, I know there's a really good solo mode. I just don't know how much it's needed because the fact that the game just plays, there's no opportunity fire. It just plays very, the AI is just doing the same thing you're doing. And you're just going through a flowchart to figure out what you would do is basically what the AI is going to be doing. So, I just kind of bypassing that right now. Maybe one day we'll try a scenario with the AI system just to see how well it plays, if it's any easier, or if it's any funner. I found it just as fun playing it this way, to be honest. I found it just as fun to play it this way. Again, there is a ton of units we haven't even looked at. There's Panthers, mortar units, Panzers, machine gunners, snipers. We haven't even looked at the snipers yet. Tank platoon commanders, more riflemen, more scouts. You have more squad leaders, platoon guides. So lots of different variability in how things get done and what you can do with the different scenarios. Doesn't take too long. These nice little tiles, two-sided. Very simplistic system. It's not going to take you very long. You can learn this game and there's a nice little combo there. Get the river. Oh, look at that. We got a little river we got put together there. That's nice. And there's a little bridge there. I bet you there's a scenario with the bridge. And let's see. Something like that is going to be the way it's going to be in the scenario, I bet. Because they usually have all the terrain pieces facing one way. They wouldn't have one upside down like that. Anyways, super cool. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow, in literally 4 hours from now, it's the 80th anniversary of D-Day. We'll start at 1 a.m. So if you go to work tomorrow, be sure to tell one of your coworkers, hey, today's the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And if they say something like, oh, what's that all about, or whatever, you can kind of get into a discussion and talk to them about all the important historical things that what this day represents. This is I don't want it to sound too overly dramatic or anything, but this is kind of my mojo. Is Normandy. I have a I will just show you guys. I have some actual sand from the beach of Normandy, France. And this is from 2010. Me and my wife went there. And so, this event and the importance of it and everything was very, very instrumental in my life, to be honest. I had a license plate. My license plate was 6 June 44. That was my license plate for the longest time before I came down to Florida. So that was my license plate, was 6 June 44. And it was great because people would ask me, well, what's your license plate mean? I was like, D-Day. And they're like, D-Day? What the hell is that? And then you would be like, well, if you don't know about D-Day, my friend, let's sit down and have a conversation. So it is just a good way to start. Because, I mean, I hate to say it, because people are just dumb. They're just, people, especially the younger kids, they don't pay any attention in school. They don't know anything. You ask them about D-Day, and unless they've actually watched a movie or whatever, they don't know anything about D-Day. It's the reality we live in, my friends. It's the reality we live in. Unfortunately, it's the reality. But anyways, this is kind of my mojo. This is kind of my event. I like the summertime. I've gone to France. I've been there. I've stood on the beach. I kind of, it's kind of, like I said, I'm not saying that it's, that I'm an expert or anything. I'm certainly not an expert. Hell no, I'm not an expert. But I know enough to talk about it intelligently to people that have no idea. Like D-Day. Oh yeah, wasn't that, if you ask just a normal person at the water cooler tomorrow, which I'm going to try. And you ask somebody, oh yeah, when is, or, if you just ask them when the, today is the anniversary of D-Day. And they say, oh yeah, yeah, D-Day, that's right, I heard about that. Yeah, there's something. You ask them, what year was D-Day in? And see if they know. I'm sure you're going to get all kinds of, weird answers out of this. You're going to be like, it's 1675, isn't that when it was? I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna ask some people tomorrow. Maybe I'll even record it with my phone. But here's the thing, because it's the anniversary tomorrow, a lot of people will see the news reports. There's been a lot of things they've been talking about, and just our local news about people that are flying back for the big event and everything. and, sending people off. And so they might have seen that, so they probably know a little bit more than they would in just a normal time. But it'll be interesting to find out, I think, for sure. Anyways, that's yesterday was Tide of Iron, Normandy, and today was Undaunted Normandy. Tomorrow, I think we're playing Normandy 44, I think, is what we're going to do. I have been debating with myself whether I want to actually break down and learn the last 100-yard rules before tomorrow, which I could possibly do, maybe. I don't know. I've also got Heroes of Normandy, the lock and load tactical system. So I'm not 100% sure. I just played Normandy 44 with Tony, so I hate to just play it again. But it's fresh on my mind, and I just reread the rules a couple times, so if I want to play it, now might be a good time to do it. But again, I haven't played lock and load tactical for a while, so it would be probably a good idea to get into that. So I'm not 100% sure what we're doing tomorrow, but anyways, D-Day, 8:15, 9:15, 10:15, 11:15, 12:15, 1:15. So we're talking 5 hours away from the 80th anniversary of the first bullet shot at people. All right, guys, have a good day. Have a good night. Don't forget, we're not trying to celebrate this event. We're just trying to make it a remembrance of the importance of the historical time that we live in. This is kind of like the moment. Like my lifetime, it was the 9/11 attacks. Like, that was like the historical moment during my lifetime. I wasn't obviously born back in 1944, but everyone has an event, and I think if I would have lived back then, like in the 30s or 40s, I mean, that would have probably been the event, obviously, that I would have tried to live through, I guess. All right, everyone, have a great night. Until tomorrow, my friends, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you all down the line. Bye for now.